MTG Scoundrels, it's in the cardboard. Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Mondays. Today on the docket, we have some Mardu Energy versus the most explosive deck in the format, Cosmogoyf Thud, and of course, my low voice. Getting things started, we're already rolling for turns here. Things to be noted, we are in fact going to show the mulligans here, because on the Cosmogoyf deck side, it matters quite a bit, as they are playing serum powders here in the main board. Now, Cosmogoyf has actually put up some results online, which has been pretty impressive. And in our last video, we even saw it make a top 4 of an RCQ. So this deck can do a lot, as you can see, already taking a mulligan here. Mulliganing. The deck's looking for its pieces, or at least a piece and a way to find another one. Though really there's 3 pieces here. Lands, Cosmogoyf, Thud. That's what you're looking for. You need 3 mana to be able to pull off the combo. Alright, taking a second mulligan here. Looks like the Mardu Energy list is keeping what they have. And they're hoping that they can snipe a Cosmogoyf with what looks like a Dreams of Steel and Oil there. But once again, mulligans matter. And this deck can win on turn 3 pretty consistently. Sometimes turn 2 if they have a Gemstone Caverns. Alright, putting 2 back, and here is a Serum Powder, as we mentioned earlier. So going to look at another 5. Saw 2 plunges into darkness there and a spoils. Alright, keeping this hand, starting with pregame action of Gemstone Caverns. Putting a land underneath for the exile. It is not imprinted. And from here, Mardu will be on the play. Starting off with a Flooded Strand Crack to play Dreams of Steel and Oil to figure out what's going on. Well, that's a little rough. No Cosmogoyf, but you know what's coming. Kind of hope you don't see the 3rd land get hit. But it's not an awful situation. Drawing the card for turn, playing the land for turn. Passing. Expect to see on the Mardu player's end step a Plunge into Darkness. Ooh, land pass. That doesn't put any pressure on. So here's a plunge. Looks like it'll be a plunge for 16 here. The 16 cards. Taking 1, exiling the rest. Drawing for turn. Well, here's the 3rd land. There's the Cosmogoyf. And here's the Thud. And that'll do it. Game 1, going to Cosmogoyf Combo. Incredible how resilient this deck is. Thank you all for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you all so much for watching our last video, which went over the rogue deck I played in an RCQ just a couple weekends ago now. The mono green Badgermole combo deck that Aspiring Spike played. Treated me really well. You might want to check it out too. And also thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. Kind of crazy 2 years we've managed to get here, so thank you all again. And if you haven't checked it out and you're into the Modern format, definitely watch our series specifically, What Should You Play in Modern? It goes over 17 decks in the format. And a lot of you have probably come over from there. So saying thank you so much for that. The response to that video has been incredible. Moving to sideboards here. The Mardu Energy deck's really just going to bring in 3 Thought Seizes here. Trying to interrupt what the Goyf deck is doing. You probably trim around the edges for yourself because Goyf isn't bringing in any amount of removal. They have one plan and one plan only, and they try to protect that plan with what they bring out of the sideboard. In terms of the Cosmogoyf list, probably just, once again, things like Veil of Summer or Inquisition of Kozilek. The Veil of Summer really only helps here if you're thinking that the Mardu Energy deck is bringing in Fatal Push. Not on the list here, but that is an assumption to make if you've already seen black being played. Now for our ads. Thank you so much to Grove Warden Games, a wonderful place to store them out. Link to their stores in the description below, and we're announcing a merch drop with them soon. So definitely check them out. And of course, check out artists of our channel, Sean Gerard. They make wonderful art, whether for a personal or professional setting. Instagram up on the screen, and email in the description below. They are open to new projects. And last but not least, check out our socials. We are at MTGScoundrels over on Broodscale, Twitter, and Facebook. Most active over on Broodscale. Definitely let us know in the comments too what you think of this Cosmogoyf deck and what you are playing in the RCQ season. Moving on to game number 2 here. Generally, once again, we wouldn't be looking at mulligans, but we are going to, in fact, cover them here because Serum Powder matters. And exiling all those cards, as you saw, makes Cosmogoyf big enough to throw at the opponent. Speaking of, here's Serum Powder. Seven cards exiled already. The Mardu Energy list looks like they're keeping. Serum Powder number 2. 14 cards exiled. Oh, it looks like there's a Goyf in there, a Temur Battle Rage. Definitely some options. Third, Serum Powder. Another Goyf. It's going to end up in there. So that means there's only 2 left in the deck. So starting off on the play, looks like going to 17, casting a Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer. Ragavan's still a very relevant 1-drop in the format. Blackcleave Cliffs. And passing here for the Goyf player. Kind of wild that it is 2026 and Cosmogoyf seeing more play than traditional Tarmogoyfs. But here we are. Tarmogoyf practically a bulk rare at this point. Untapping, drawing. Here's a Flooded Strand, attacking for 2. That'll bring us to 17 to 18. Exiling the top card. Looks like that's a City of Brass here, so maybe not the most conventional of mana bases. And we're going to see a crack of the Flooded Strand. I would be surprised. Yeah, just a plains here, snow covered at that. Probably more of an art aesthetic. Doubt there's anything that matters snow-wise. One mana. Here's a Guide of Souls. 1 mana. Here's an Ocelot Pride. Oh, double Ocelot Pride. All right. So by the end here, we're going to end up with 4 energy and 4 life gained. So we'll be back to 20 to 18. And no city's blessing yet here. But the Goyf player is staring down quite the board. And looks like I'm going to Spoils of the Vault. Naming Cosmogoyf. I see an Anger of the Gods in there. And nope, not going to get there. Going to deal lethal damage to themselves, and that'll bring us even. Mardu Energy, taking game number 2. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. Moving on to game 3 here shortly. Looks like the Cosmogoyf taking out a card. Cosmogoyf Thud is definitely one of the fastest decks in the format, and shockingly consistent. The only problem here is that Mardu Energy is in fact set up to deal a certain amount of mental damage with hand attack here in terms of Thoughtseize and Dreams of Steel and Oil. Granted, Dreams of Steel and Oil only hits 4 cards, and they're all Cosmogoyfs. Well, I guess you could technically hit a Serum Powder, but if the Cosmogoyf player is playing or keeping a hand, they never keep a hand with Serum Powder ultimately. They exile it and draw the next set of cards unless it's perfect. So here we are. Game number 3. Looking at mulligans. Mardu Energy player has a little bit of hand attack, it looks like. They are on the draw. Pre-game action. Double Devourer of Destiny for the Cosmogoyf player. Exiling 4 cards. Second Devourer trigger. Exiling 4 more cards. There's a Blooming Marsh and passing. Godless Shrine. Taking 2, going to 18. Into a Dreams of Steel and Oil. Oh, nice. Was able to hit the Cosmogoyf here. So that's going to get exiled. Not that that's great for the Mardu Energy player. Well, great to get rid of the Goyf. Not great to add to the exile count necessarily. Here's a Spoils of the Vault. Naming Summoner's Pact. Finds the Summoner's Pact, takes 7, goes to 13. Exiling the second Goyf here. Untapping and drawing. Passing, no second land. Here's an Arid Mesa. Oh, and here is Thoughtseize. Going to 16, what will they take? Gonna take the Pact. Fetching the Arid Mesa, or excuse me, cracking the Arid Mesa to fetch. Just going ahead and doing it now, it looks like. There might be a basic land in hand already, so probably thinking about just adding stuff to the bin and or just trying to smooth out the draws here. Filling up the yard for Flage isn't awful, but sometimes Flage is just a tad too slow. keeping that card on top. Wow, the Cosmogoyf player didn't do anything on their turn, so no second land. Here's an Arena of Glory. Deciding against exerting the Arena here. Here's an Ajani Nakatl Pariah. I'll come with a 2/1 cat. And there's an Ocelot Pride. Just passing from there. Third turn, starting town. Untapping and drawing. Not doing anything. Here's a land for turn. Ooh, and there is Thoughtseize. That'll put us at 13-13. Ooh, there is the Plunge into Darkness. Could have done that in response. Deciding against it. Oh, and there is Flage. That is backbreaking. That'll bring us to 16-10. And attacking in. Dealing 4. I'll bring it to 17-6. Making a cat on the end step. Anything from the Cosmogoyf list? Oh, drew another Serum Powder. And that'll do it. Game, set, match. Going to Mardu Energy. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. And we will see you all next week.